If you've been following my channel, then you know, we've gone deep into the world of Stranger Things. From hidden clues and character twists to the craziest theories that just might be true, we've covered it all. But this time, though, we're going even deeper. I'm bringing together some of the wildest, most mind-blowing theories I've ever shared, plus a few you may have missed. So, whether you believe Hawkins is hiding darker secrets or that Vecna isn't the biggest threat after all, get ready. The Upside Down is calling, and things are about to get strange. Ever since Will disappeared, things in Hawkins were totally different. But maybe it wasn't just because of Eleven and the gate. It all started with Will. He was stuck in the Upside Down before anyone knew what was up, fighting a battle nobody could see. And even though he came back, something else did too. We've been so focused on the Demogorgon, the Mind Flayer, and Vecna, but what if they were just the beginning? What if the real bad guy in Stranger Things has been here all along, hiding in plain sight, looking like someone we thought we knew? And maybe, that's the whole deal. Will's quiet pain, how he keeps everyone at arm's length, and feeling like he doesn't belong haven't just been part of who he is, they've been clues. Stranger Things has been showing us for ages that the Upside Down doesn't just send monsters, it uses your pain. If Vecna gets stronger from trauma, and the Mind Flayer wants to control everything, then Will Byers is the perfect target, a kid who's been through hell, changed, and maybe even taken over. Season 5 can't keep ignoring this. The final fight might not be about saving Will, but stopping what he's turning into. Because what if the real bad guy in Stranger Things isn't from the Upside Down? What if he already left it years ago? Will's falling apart, and it isn't just emotional, it's a huge deal. He's jealous of Mike, wants to fit in, and feels invisible, which is kind of like what happened to Henry Creel before he turned into Vecna. It's no coincidence. Stranger Things always does this thing where it shows you the path to the Upside Down, and Will's feelings are going down a bad road. His messed up emotions could be the perfect way for something ancient to get in. Maybe Vecna was just the start. Maybe Will, all broken and sad, is going to be the Upside Down's main guy. And the worst part? The show might have been dropping hints this entire time, with little looks, shadowy parallels, and how everyone's been ignoring the one kid who's been dealing with it the longest. Will Byers isn't just haunted by the Upside Down, he might actually be connected to it. Remember lack of closure around his trauma, the eerie echoes of Season 2. And that freaky moment in the Season 4 finale? It's not just a heads up, it's like something's about to happen. Will might not be the bad guy on purpose, but he's totally going to be the emotional link to the big bad. He's not possessed, he's like, the anchor. A walking portal between worlds, held together by all his sadness and fear, and his mind might not even be his anymore. The idea that part of Will's brain is stuck in Vecna's head makes sense. It explains why he's so out of it, and why something still feels off. Season 5 might not just be about saving Hawkins, it could be about saving Will. That one word, run, is probably the most important thing in the entire trailer. It's raw, desperate, and laced with fear. Will's not just feeling something's up, he knows it. Whether he's trying to save his friends or fight whatever's inside him, he's totally stuck between two worlds. This isn't just another weird thing from the Upside Down, it's personal. The look in his eyes, the urgency in his voice, and the tension in his body all point to a terrifying possibility. Will's not scared for them, he's scared of himself. With the last season coming, the big question isn't just what's coming, it's whether Will Byers is the hero who saves everyone, or the thing that destroys them all. The resemblance between Will and Henry Creel isn't just surface level, it's thematic, intentional, and chilling. Both were these sensitive, quiet kids who felt like nobody got them. They were both messed up by being alone and hurting. And, get this, they're both linked to the same dark force, the Mind Flayer. The show's always been about trauma, and these similarities could be a sign of what's coming. Will might not be bad, but he's easy to mess with. He's still hurting, and in this world where pain is power, that makes him super vulnerable. Everyone loves Will, and that's why it would be so awful if he went bad, or got taken over. It wouldn't be about hating him, but just wanting him to get better. And that's what Stranger Things does best, making the people we care about the most the center of a huge fight. If Will becomes the bad guy, it won't be a simple thing. It'll be a real tragedy. And that's what will make it stick with us forever. With Stranger Things wrapping up, Will Byers is totally the perfect character to bring everything back around. He was the first one, the OG mystery, the kid who came back but wasn't quite the same. If Vecna's time is almost up as the main bad guy, who better to take over than the person he's been messing with all this time? Will could be a vessel, or maybe just a messed up version of himself, but either way, he's got all the feels to carry the show's darkest secrets. Even if he doesn't go full-on evil, Will's still the key to everything, the Upside Down's beginnings, all the hidden secrets we don't know yet, and whatever's really calling the shots behind Vecna. They've ignored his trauma for way too long, never really digging into his silence. Season 5 is a real chance to finally show what he's been dealing with since Season 1, the memories, the nightmares, the whole "why me?" thing. Doesn't matter if he's the bad guy, the one in trouble, or the hero, it's gotta start and end with Will Byers. That drawing of the three-headed red dragon wasn't just a sweet thing, it was a warning. The D&D lore is totally in Stranger Things DNA, and fans knew right away that the creature could be a stand-in for some big, multidimensional evil that's coming. Will might not have known what he was drawing, but the picture says a lot. Something ancient, something worse than Vecna, has already started messing with his head, and maybe even the real world. Whether he's the bad guy, the host, or the mouthpiece of some higher power, Will Byers isn't just the kid who disappeared anymore. He's the kid who knows. Season 5 isn't just him getting back in the game, it's his moment. After all these years of being ignored and pushed aside, it's time to hear Will's whole story. The pain, the quiet, the scars, and the link he still has to the Upside Down. And by doing that, the show can give us a good ending to his story, and also solve the entire mystery that started it all. Because if there's one thing Stranger Things has been hinting at from the start, it's this: it was always about Will. Given Stranger Things' track record, it's safe to say that not everyone will make it out of Season 5 alive, and honestly, it's about time. Let's be honest, we love the Hawkins crew. The final season of this epic sci-fi saga needs real, lasting consequences to hit us in the feels like we've been expecting. The show's never been afraid to break our hearts. Rest in peace, Bob, Alexei, and Eddie, but the main group, the ones we've followed since the very beginning, has always made it out alive. The writers have held back when it comes to the main characters, never really going for a permanent loss. Even Billy, who was a regular and died a good death in Season 3, who was mostly a bad guy. But with the final battle against Vecna looming and the Upside Down bleeding into the real world, the gloves are off. The Duffer Brothers have said this season will be full of high stakes and major feels. So, if Stranger Things is finally gonna kill off a main character, and it feels like it's gonna happen, these are the three who seem most likely to kick the bucket. Let me preface this by saying, Steve Harrington is one of the last characters I want to see die in Stranger Things, and I'm pretty sure most fans would agree. Joe Keery's portrayal of the reformed bad boy-turned-babysitter has turned Steve Harrington into a true fan favorite, and his character arc is arguably one of the most satisfying in the entire series. He went from a jerk in Season 1 to the crew's fiercely loyal protector. Steve has grown more than almost anyone else in Hawkins, and yet that might be exactly why his time is up. As painful as it is to admit, there are a lot of signs pointing to Steve meeting his end in Stranger Things Season 5. One of the most chilling is that the Duffer Brothers had originally planned to kill him off back in Season 1. They only didn't because Joe Keery brought unexpected heart and humor to the role, quickly earning his place in the core cast. But now that it's the last season, it feels like a real possibility that Steve Harrington will sacrifice himself to save everyone else. His death would carry enormous emotional weight and serve as a powerful way to raise the stakes. It would also neatly resolve the long-lingering Steve, Nancy, Jonathan love triangle without the need for a forced romantic conclusion. In short, Steve Harrington has become too good, too brave, too selfless, too beloved. And in a show like Stranger Things, that usually means you're gonna get a big, sad send-off. As much as this hurts to say, if anyone is going to break our hearts in Season 5, it's Steve Harrington. Based on everything we've seen in the first 4 seasons of Stranger Things, it's not looking good for Murray Bauman. Brett Gelman's portrayal of Murray has also become a fan favorite for many fans. He's hilarious, a total wild card, and a surprisingly good hero, but his character fits a very specific mold that Stranger Things has a habit of killing off. Think about it, Bob Newby, Billy Hargrove, Eddie Munson, they were all awesome, complex side characters who were basically main characters and then, boom, dead by the end of the season. And let's be honest, Hopper already had his death moment. After faking us out with his apparent demise in the Season 3 finale, it would feel like a creative misstep or emotional manipulation overload to go down that road again. Plus, Hopper's got stuff to sort out with Eleven and Joyce. And speaking of Joyce, can you imagine the Duffer Brothers killing off Winona Ryder in the final season? It'd be wrong, Joyce is the heart of the show. Taking her out would be a disaster, that wouldn't be a good ending. So, that leaves us with Murray. As much as we've grown to love his chaotic energy, blunt honesty, and oddly impressive martial arts skills, Murray is expendable, and that's exactly what makes him such a likely target. His death would be a total shocker, super meaningful, and it totally fits with the show's thing with offing the side characters we love, who leave a big impact without messing up the main crew. Plus, he'd totally go out in a blaze of glory, flamethrower, one-liner, last stand for the team. It would totally suck, for sure, but it would make sense. That said, Murray dying would be the safe choice. No disrespect to the flamethrower-wielding conspiracy theorist, but while he's been a consistent source of comic relief and occasional heroics, he's not as emotionally entwined in the core group as the others. His role, even if it's fun to watch, doesn't hit you as hard emotionally. The only time Murray really got serious was when Alexei died in Season 3. Other than that, he's mostly just the guy with the jokes, crazy plans, or random skills that come in really handy. So, maybe that's exactly why the Duffer Brothers will choose to kill him off. Killing Murray would prove Season 5 has real stakes without totally bumming us out. It's a smart move, it will make us feel something without totally destroying us, setting up something even bigger. If Steve, or someone else from the main crew, is really gonna die, losing Murray first could soften the blow. Basically, Murray's death is the heads up before the big one. This one is a bit of a hot take, but I gotta say it, if Stranger Things wants to end with a real tearjerker, it might be Eleven biting the dust. Millie Bobby Brown's portrayal of Eleven has been the emotional and narrative centerpiece of the series from the very beginning. She's the heart of the show, its most iconic character, and undeniably the face of the franchise. And, ironically, that's why I'm not so sure she'll make it out of Season 5 alive. Throughout the series, Eleven, also known as Jane Hopper, has repeatedly danced on the edge of death. From closing the gate in Season 2, to battling the Mind Flayer in Season 3, to that brutal face-off with Vecna, she's always in the thick of it. She's survived every single time, but barely. With the final season coming up and the big showdown on the way, it's hard to see her dodging death forever. All signs point to a climactic showdown between Eleven and Vecna, and the stakes couldn't be higher. She's the only one who can stop him, and that kind of narrative responsibility rarely comes without a cost. It would be so sad but perfect if she ends up sacrificing herself to save everyone. After all, Stranger Things has always been about found family, about choosing love over fear. And Eleven, who began her journey alone and voiceless, has spent every season learning to fight for people rather than just with her powers. Her final move could be the ultimate act of love, a sacrifice that finally ends the nightmare once and for all. The idea of Stranger Things killing off its lead is a hard pill to swallow for all Stranger Things 11 fans. It would be brutal, it would be heartbreaking, and yet it would also be unforgettable. If the Duffers want to end things with a big, emotional bang that makes the show legendary, maybe 11's death is the cost. As Stranger Things heads into its final season, the question isn't just who will survive, but whose loss will shape the legacy of the show. We all hate saying bye to our favorite characters, but the Hawkins story needs some big sacrifices, maybe even some serious feels. Steve Harrington's hero's journey feels like it's building to a tragic but noble end. Murray's death would suck, but it feels like the safest bet, to soften us up. And 11? If she goes, it's gonna be the ultimate tearjerker. Of course, there's always a chance that the Duffer brothers pull the rug out from under us with a twist we didn't see coming. Still, based on what's happened, those three seem like the most likely to bite the dust in Season 5. Whether it's a big hero moment, a super sad goodbye, or a total shocker, one thing's for sure, Hawkins will never be the same. A significant question for Stranger Things Season 5 centers on Max's fate, and a line spoken by Vecna in Season 4 may offer a clue to the possibility that she can be rescued. Following 4 successful seasons and achieving immense popularity on Netflix, Stranger Things will conclude with its 5th season. The dramatic events of Season 4 leave many questions and mysteries for Season 5 to address, and among the biggest concerns in the final season is Max's fate. Stranger Things Season 4 unveiled crucial details about the Upside Down, most notably that Vecna, formerly Henry Creel and Hawkins' Lab's 001 test subject, controls it. Vecna devised an intricate plan for revenge against Hawkins, targeting vulnerable teenagers to open portals and merge the Upside Down with the human world. His final target was Max, who, while surviving, suffered significant harm that could still aid Vecna's plan, and a line from Vecna may suggest a path to her complete recovery. But before we get into how Max can be saved, let's do a quick recap for those that don't remember. Vecna's horrible actions go many years back, way before he became the monstrous creature that now rules the Upside Down. After an incident with a shadow entity, young Henry Creel developed psychokinetic abilities, which he used to kill his entire family, and he eventually framed his father for the murders he caused. He was then taken to Hawkins' lab and became Dr. Brenner's 001 test subject. When he grew up, he eventually became an orderly and attended the lab where he then met 11. Henry deceived a young 11 into assisting him in removing a device from his neck that inhibited his abilities, enabling their escape. However, his actions resulted in the deaths of fellow test subjects and Hawkins' lab staff. To stop him, 11 used her powers, inadvertently sending him to another dimension through a portal she created. In the Upside Down, Henry's form was altered, and his powers amplified, allowing him to affect those in Hawkins while in the other dimension. Max presented a significant challenge for Vecna. She escaped his initial capture and, subsequently, was defended by 11 and the Hawkins group, who attacked Vecna while he battled 11. Max is the sole survivor of Vecna's curse, though at a great cost, a coma. 11 attempted to reach Max mentally but was unsuccessful, suggesting Max might remain in a coma. However, Vecna's statement to 11, that the Hawkins lab children are right here with me, while tapping his head, raises the possibility that Max is trapped within Vecna's mind, explaining 11's inability to find her. It has been anticipated since Season 1 that the climactic battle in Stranger Things would occur in the Upside Down. However, Max's current situation may alter the location of the final confrontation. 11 and the Hawkins group have numerous tasks in Stranger Things Season 5, including, but not limited to, sealing the gates to the Upside Down, preventing further dimensional bleed-through, defeating Vecna, and rescuing Max. While the Upside Down will undoubtedly be involved in the final battle, it may not be the sole setting. If Max is trapped within Vecna's mind, only 11, with her unique abilities, can save her, leading to a final confrontation with Vecna. However, prolonged exposure to Vecna's mind could leave Max with lasting trauma, or, as a plot twist, she might gain temporary abilities, using Vecna as a power source to escape or aid Eleven, adding excitement to the final battle. If you want to see more Stranger Things theories, like and subscribe to Stranger Vecna for more strange content.